You are mean.
I think it's great. I just want to know who's more profitable, you or Sammy?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 13, Episodes 8 and 9. I want you all to get comfortable. It's another double recap, and the way Beverly Hills is letting us know that they're that girl. Y'all know how I feel about Erika Jane, but I will always give credit where credit is due. Mama had Denise Richards gagged. There's no other way to say it. Denise Richards low-key brought a knife to a gunfight. That was a TKO. I had to rewind that back. I said, wait, what? Come again? Y'all, Beverly Hills is carrying. This season is phenomenal. Every single episode has been a home run, and I am loving it. And shout out to the beautiful black woman that I saw on TikTok who made a really great point about why Beverly Hills is thriving, because they got rid of Lisa Rinna. And it shows you that without a person who is causing division, the rest of the group can thrive. Because now we're seeing new alliances, new friendships. The fact that when Lisa Rinna was on the show, everybody was so consumed with kissing up to her, i.e. Erika and Dorit. We're seeing Erika hanging out with Sutton and Garcelle, Dorit and Sutton hanging out. And if Lisa Rinna had still been on the show, we would not have these dynamics. And it shows you that sometimes it really is best to get rid of a person who is causing all the division in the group, because these shows cannot go on if nobody moves on. And yes, I'm low-key preaching about Potomac, and I believe in my heart of hearts that if they only got rid of one person, get rid of the Lisa Rinna on Potomac, and I can assure you that the rest of the group will be able to thrive. Now, I'll let you figure out who I'm talking to, because I've said it before in previous recaps, who I believe is Lisa Rinna of Potomac, and she's one half of the Green-Eyed Bandits, that if they got rid of her and her alone, I'm willing to bet that the group would actually thrive, and we would be able to see new friendships and people getting along and moving past their issues. Bravo, I know you guys watched me, I love y'all, but please do the same thing that you did for Beverly Hills. Do that for Potomac, because the way Beverly Hills is thriving, if y'all did the same thing, they would be able to thrive, because Potomac used to be that girl. They were on their way to the top. And unfortunately, for the last few seasons, it's been a hot mess. But guys, let me not get off topic, because we can be on that forever. But once again, Beverly Hills is showing up and showing out. Everybody's clocking in for work. And without further ado, let's just jump right on into it, because you guys already know that we don't have a minute to spare. So we open up episode 8 with Kyle and Mauricio at home. Now, mind you, Mauricio was traveling, so he's just now getting back home. So he's asking her, how was the THC-infused dinner? And she's like, Mauricio, it was a hot mess. Sutton pretty much came for me. She was alluding that you're cheating on me, and that's why I got this new ring. And Mauricio's like, what? He goes on to say, well, I hope you told her to F off. Then he says that that's just mean. Now, Mauricio, you're not a stranger to your wife's behavior. You know that your wife has been a mean girl to these other women for seasons. So for you to be upset that she's now receiving the same energy that she's thrown out for years, it's comical. Your wife is nobody's victim. Because I can assure you, if the shoe were on the other foot, she would be pressing another housewife about, girl, what's happening in your marriage? I heard the tabloids talking about he's cheating and you're not wearing the same ring. We know how shady Kyle is. So please miss me with all this, oh, that's mean, why would they do that? No. Kyle is just as nasty, just as low down, and she also fishes for information. Now, I thought it was a hot mess when she finished telling Mauricio and she got up to go to another room and he tried to give her a kiss and she just like walked away. She was not here for it. I said, I know that there are theories going around that they're faking this whole thing because Mauricio has 4 lawsuits against him right now. But in all seriousness though, I don't believe that Kyle is that good of an actress where she could fake this. She is over that man. It is clear disdain. She's aggravated around him. I don't think that they're playing around. I really do believe that they are going to get a divorce. So now we jump to another short scene. Sutton is at her store and she's getting ready to host her 4-year anniversary party of her store. So she's excited. She's talking to her party planner. They're going over the rundown of what the night's gonna look like. And now we see her talking about how she's so excited because she always wanted to open up a store. Nobody believed in her. And the fact that she's still here 4 years later, that's a big deal. Now, I saw there was a lot of chatter about Sutton saying that she didn't need anybody else's money to open up her store. And I thought it was really shady of production when they asked her if she used any of her alimony money to open up the store and keep it going. And she was like, well, yes. And may I just say, leave Sutton alone. She earned every single dime being in that horrible marriage. He didn't treat her right. He didn't treat her like an equal in that marriage. So, honey, if she wants to say that she didn't get any help from anybody, then so be it. So now we see Sutton FaceTime Crystal. And it's so funny to see Crystal and Sutton actually get along because we know that they've had a rocky history since the beginning. So Crystal's asking Sutton, how does she feel about everybody coming to her event? And if she's excited for Kyle to be there. And Sutton says, well, not really. Not if we're about to fight. Then Sutton says that she's still pissed off at the fact that Kyle and Dorit are going around talking about she's drinking and might have a problem. And she goes on to say that allegations like that are damaging. It could hurt her custody arrangement. Her ex-husband could come and take their youngest son and move him to London with him because of this. And she's just pissed. Now, Sutton, I need you to get it through your head that Kyle is not your friend. In season 14, please do not try to make amends and become best friends. Just be castmates, be co-workers, be cordial, and keep it at that. I did see a recent interview that Kyle did a few days ago, and she was saying that her and Sutton are on a friendship break. And I said, let it be a permanent break because Kyle, you don't like Sutton. You guys are both doing each other a favor by putting a pause to a friendship that never was. So now we jump to the next scene with Kyle at home and her life coach comes over. So she's talking about she's been in a weird space because between the fallout with her sister and now she's dealing with the grief of her best friend from 7 years old taking her own life. Now we find out that her friend Lorraine, that was her girl, that was her go-to. She's been there with her since marriages, pregnancies, divorces. She was even in charge of Kyle's money, her will, her trust, and she was the most together person that Kyle knew. And she never knew that her friend was dealing with any of these thoughts. So the fact that her friend took her life, she's devastated. Now, let me say that I do feel bad hearing about Kyle's friend. My heart does go out to Lorraine's family. And I also do feel badly for Kyle because I can only imagine that was like another sister to her. And the fact that she took her own life while Kyle's going through a hard time in her marriage and a fallout with her sister again, I can only imagine how she felt. This short scene with Annamarie at home with her kids and her husband, when Annamarie said that her husband told her that she's great because she's an 8.5 in all things, looks, body, and cooking. And she was like, I mean, yeah, like I'll take it. And I was like, girl, what? You married a man who doesn't think that you're the baddest thing? Like, what? You really repeated that out loud? And I looked at him and I said, oh, okay. And he's telling you that you're just an 8.5 across the board.
No.
Me personally, I need that princess treatment. I need you to worship the ground that I walk on. You know what I'm saying? So anything less than that, I can't do that. I've never been somebody who's just happy to have somebody where it's like, okay, well, I got a man, I got a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, thank you. And Annemarie, you saying that felt like you're just happy to have somebody, a piece of a man. And little comments like that are how you end up in a Simone Biles and whatever his name is situation. Because it's clear that Simone Biles' husband believes that he's the prize and that he could do better. And we'll talk about that. I'm going to do a separate video or go live about that whole mess. But honey, when I heard that, I said, girl, that's a hot mess. But what I do know is that next season, I don't need to see Miss 8.5. So now it's the night of Sutton's anniversary party of her store. We see Garcelle arrive. She says that she's so proud of Sutton. So now we see Crystal and Dorit arrive. Annemarie's also there. Erika's there. And now we see Kyle and Kim on the way. Now, Kyle was definitely in her feelings because she said, I'm so happy that my sister Kim is coming with me because I'm going to show Sutton that I actually do have one sister who's in my corner. And I said, girl, we've been watching you and your sisters fall out for over a decade now. So you trying to prove this point, who really cares? Sutton said what she said. It obviously struck a nerve. And now you want to be bothered? Like, okay. It still does not negate the fact that you and Kathy aren't speaking. Is it just me, or does anybody else wonder how is Kim doing financially? Because we all know that she was not doing well when she came on this show in the first season. Kyle revealed that her and Mauricio were taking care of her for years. And when you also read the book, The House of Hilton, and you read about how Kim was reckless with her money when she was married to her billionaire husbands, I always wonder, like, are Kyle and Kathy still helping her out? But it is good to see Kim. And I hope that she's getting a nice check every time she gets on camera. So Kyle and Kim arrive. Of course, the energy's a bit weird between Kyle and Sutton. You have Kim rambling on about how she's now into art. She's painting murals in her house. And I just said, Kim, you can talk all you want about that, but it's not going to help the tension between Sutton and your sister. So now we see Sutton give a speech, and Sutton, I'm aware that public speaking is not for everybody, but Miss Mamas, you have more than enough money to hire somebody to draft up a more eloquent speech, because that speech was horrible. So Sutton finishes that awful speech, and now she walks over to the bar, and mind you, Kyle and Kim are standing right next to the bar. So before Sutton orders her drink, she turns to Kyle and she says, oh, by the way, just thought I'd let you know that this actually is my first drink of the day. Just thought I would check in with you. And then she calls Kyle mom. So now they're both like, what? Like mom? And Kyle says, oh, she's upset with me. And now Kyle calls out Sutton and she says, Sutton, you're obviously angry about something. Let's talk about it. So Kyle says, I wasn't saying that you had a problem. I was just pointing out that one incident at your house when you kept repeating yourself. So now Sutton jumps in and says, okay, well, let's clarify that. And now, of course, Kyle cuts her off and she's like, you know what I do want to clarify? That comment that you made about me having a new wedding band. So now she goes on to say that Sutton knows that she buys jewelry all the time, and for her to insinuate that it was a makeup gift, that really pissed her off. So now Sutton says, look, Kyle, that comment that Garcelle made about it being a makeup gift because he's cheating on you, that was a symptom of what everybody's been saying. So Sutton points out all the rumors about how Mauricio allegedly moved out and that she's moved out and that he's been cheating on her. And honestly, she's just tired of Kyle dancing around it. And girl, we're all tired. Now, I love the fact that Garcelle has clocked in for work, because when the whole group gathered around them, you have Kyle questioning Garcelle, and she's like, Garcelle, why did you ask me that? Why wouldn't you just assume that it was an anniversary gift? Why would your mind automatically go to my husband cheated? I love the fact that Garcelle owned it. She said, look, I'm just saying I thought it was a makeup gift. And then she goes on to add that Kyle always has a new ring on that finger, and it feels like Kyle is purposely doing it because she wants them to ask her what's going on. Now, one of y'all made a great point in my last recap that Kyle has always been very attention-seeking, and yes, she is. For all my OG Beverly Hills watchers, Kyle has always had an issue with not being the center of attention. And I always felt like she was jealous of LVP being the star of the show. And also the fact that Kyle grew up in a family where her mom was of the mindset of you do whatever you can to have the spotlight on you at all times. And it definitely does feel like Kyle wants them to keep asking her, what's going on? What's wrong? Like, I keep hearing all this. Kyle loves the attention. And Kyle was so funny talking about how she's wearing another ring. And they were like, oh, okay. And Sutton immediately got in her fancy Drew bag. And she was like, oh, it seems like she has the Tiffany T ring. And I don't see anything about it being a wedding band. Interesting. So now we get off of Kyle and Sutton going at it to now Sutton addressing Dorit's comments about her drinking. So Dorit's trying to play dumb. Sutton wasn't having it. She said, girl, apparently you've been running your mouth to everybody in this group that I have a drinking problem. So Dorit says, the only conversation where I talked about your drinking was at Kyle's house. And then she goes on to say that she's going to confront Crystal about this because she's over it. And I said, Dorit, there's nothing to confront Crystal about because you're the one who said that you believe that Sutton is putting vodka in her coffee in the morning and that you do think that she has a problem. You're just upset that Crystal clocked you on the BS and called you out. But don't sit up here and act like you're innocent. And Dorit, when you said that Crystal barely speaks in this group, but she wants to now be Sutton's carrier pigeon, girl, shut up. And Dorit, when you sat down to confront Crystal, I said, girl, why are you trying to confront her? You already know that you said it. You're guilty. Let's move on. And Crystal had me screaming. She was like, oh my gosh, like, Dorit confronting you is the worst thing possible because she does not shut up. Now, since they're on the topic of Sutton's drinking, you have Annemarie now questioning Sutton, and she's like, you have neuropathy, right? You're not supposed to be drinking if you're on that medication. So Sutton says, well, actually, I'm allowed to. Like, my doctor said it's fine. And Annemarie's like, well, no doctor would allow you to do that with that kind of condition. And I just said, girl, please, like, this is Sutton's night. She's a grown woman. She knows what she can do. If her doctor told her that she's allowed to drink, then let her do it. Who are you to come in giving her the 5th degree? I just said she was so out of order for that. Nobody wants your unsolicited opinion about anything. And Annemarie, here's why it's best to just keep your mouth shut. Because the fact that you're now being embarrassed by Dr. Nicole and Dr. Tiffany, they both have said that Annemarie is wrong and that what she's doing isn't cool. The fact that she's out here trying to weaponize her knowledge and trying to shame Sutton is not cool. And I was glad that Sutton was like, I mean, are you my doctor? Am I at a doctor's appointment right now? Why are you sitting up here telling me what I can and can't do? Annemarie, just stop. You're coming on way too strong. It's clear that you want to be Kyle's lapdog. Because again, sis, you're brand new. We've only seen you for what, 3 episodes? Don't come in here trying to school people on what they can and can't do health-wise. Stay out of it, mind your business, and just shut up. And then for you to question her esophagus issues, that was so out of line. I just say, yeah, I would have had some words for you like, girl, don't sit up here and question me and my health at my event. I invited you here. Take it down a few notches, enjoy the champagne and the past hors d'oeuvres, but what we won't do is question me about my health and medication and any ailments that I might have. Now, Sutton, my only thing with you is there was a point where Annemarie said something to you and you were like, don't yell at me. And I just said, I watched that scene back and she wasn't yelling at you. Yes, she's annoying. She was doing too much, but she did not yell at you. And that kind of bothered me because I feel like anytime, a Black woman speaks above a whisper, it's, why are you yelling? But yeah, Sutton wasn't here for Annemarie. She was like, well, are we done here, doctor? And you have Annemarie saying, that's just so condescending. Like, wow, that's just so rude. And I said, but you're being rude. You're questioning her about her health. Then you're saying that what she's saying doesn't make any sense and how she can't do X, Y, and Z. And again, that's not your place. So keep your mouth shut. But we end the episode with everybody telling Sutton that they're proud of her. And Sutton says that she's proud of herself as well. And good for Sutton. I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she is really flourishing, being divorced, and she's really spreading her wings and finding out what she wants out of life. So good for her. Now we open up episode 9 and we see Sutton on a blind date with one of the matches that her matchmaker Alessandra set her up with. Now at first glance, I thought that Sal was so cute. I was like, okay, he's tall, nice looking, in shape. He is a gentleman. He pulls her chair out. But the way that quickly changed when he opened his mouth. Alessandra, did you not vet properly? Because Sal is a complete mama's boy. He was telling some crazy story about how for his 50th birthday, him and his mom went to Vegas, and Sutton was like, what? And then he was going on to say that, I forgot what he said he did, but he works from home and he loves it because it gives him time and flexibility to check on his mom every day. And she was also like, what is going on? I see why this man is still single, because he's in love with his mom. I really want to understand, how does that happen? Because that is just a crazy dynamic when you see moms obsessed with their sons. Again, let me know, how does that happen? But yeah, Sal was a complete weirdo. I felt so sorry for Sutton on that date. I said, girl, if I were her, I would have lied and said, oh, I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. And then I would have snuck out. So now we jump over to Kyle at home, and Annemarie and Dorit come over. Now, Kyle, while you pissed me off, that charcuterie tray that you had was a 10 out of 10. That was everything. You already know that my mouth was watering. It's watering yet again. And I'm already thinking about what I'm planning to eat the minute I'm done with this recap. So now they start talking about Sutton's event, and of course they bring up the esophagus issues that she has, and Annemarie is like, I mean, when I brought it up, I didn't say anything wrong. And I'm like, Annemarie, it's not about that. It's about being an asshole. There was no reason for you to bring up Sutton's health issues and then question her about what medication is she on, is she drinking with it? Like, that's not your place. And that was her night, it was her event, it was a celebration. So you are wrong to come in there questioning her about that. And the way y'all claim that you don't see it for Sutton, you sure do talk about her a lot, because you have Dorit saying, oh yeah, she was telling me about her esophagus and how she can't really eat. She used to crush her meals up like baby food. And I just said, y'all are so ignorant, because why are you making fun of her? If she has to crush her food up because of health issues, why is that funny to y'all? You just don't like Sutton, so whatever she says, you're going to find fault with it and laugh at it. And Dorit, who knew that you paid so much attention to what Sutton eats and doesn't eat when you went on to say, I mean, I don't understand. She claims that she's vegetarian, but I see her eating bacon last year. And it's like, okay, girl, and your point? Sutton is good and grown. If she wants to have some meat every now and again, so be it. How does that affect your life? So now they change the topic, and Dorit's asking them how their week's going, and Kyle announces that she's just signed on to produce another show, and Dorit's taken aback. She's like, when were you going to tell me this? And Kyle says, well, I've been so busy, I haven't told anybody. Obviously, Dorit's offended. And here's my thing. If you've been watching me for quite some time, you know how I feel about moving in silence. I'm West Indian. I was brought up with, you do not discuss anything before it is done. That involves buying a new car, a new home, a luxury good, going out for a new job. Don't say anything until it is secured, because I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people, unfortunately, are not always happy for you, and energy is very powerful. Call me what you want, call me paranoid, call me extreme, I'll take it, but it works for me, and I am the biggest advocate for moving in silence. Do not say a word. So I was definitely here for Kyle keeping that hush hush. So now Dorit brings up Kyle's new tattoos, and Kyle tells a funny story of how she got a new tattoo and how she tattooed her initials on Morgan Wade. So Dorit's like, girl, what? Like, what's happening? You just met this girl a year ago. And Kyle's like, no, actually 2 years ago. And Dorit was like, well, that might be so, but we've been friends for 7 years. And I said, Dorit, I know you don't want to face it, but you are being replaced. Kyle and Morgan's friendship is on a different level, so nobody is competing with that. The way Kyle was so giddy telling Annemarie and Dorit the story of how she tatted her initial on Morgan's body, Kyle is talking about that woman like a giddy schoolgirl, like it's her first crush. Nothing about their friendship screams, we're just friends. So now we jump to Garcelle, Sutton, and Erika meeting up for a girls' night. When I tell you that this was a trio I never saw coming in a million years, the fact that Erika is on good terms with both Garcelle and Sutton, when last season it was a complete opposite. She was calling the both of them "see you next Tuesdays." She was screaming in Sutton's face, laughing at Garcelle, talking about Garcelle's son. And now they're sitting across from each other at a dinner table, getting drinks and joking around. I said, wow. But like I said in the beginning, it's all because Lisa Rinna is not there. And that's how a show is able to continue on and prosper when you get the person who's the cause of the division. Potomac, please take notes and get rid of the Lisa Rinna on your cast. And you know what's really crazy? Erika was actually enjoyable in this scene. And you know how I feel about her. And Miss Erika, the fact that you were rude at BravoCon, but yeah, you lurk and watch my video says a lot. Because a few of y'all tagged me in Erika's latest Instagram post, and she used my iconic MC Deborah clip, "Shout out to everybody, I have fun."
Oh! Shout out to everybody, I have fun.
I gotta be good.
Nah, I forgot.
Now I said, Erika, what do you know about the icon, living legend MC Deborah? I keep telling y'all, these ladies watch us. So anyhow, the lychee martinis are flowing, and there is a place in the Lower East Side. I won't say the name because it's already hard enough to get a reservation as it is, but I have a go-to spot on the Lower East Side that serves the best lychee martinis. They are chef's kiss. So now we see Erika joking about how they gossip differently in the South. And remember that Sutton and Erika are both from Georgia. So now Erika makes a joke that she's going to put Denise Richards on her prayer list. And then she goes on to say, honestly, Denise needs to let this 4-year beef go. Like, nobody cares anymore. It's tired. It's pointless. Just let it go. So now Erika brings up what she's been through these last 3 years. And she's like, the amount of scrutiny I've been under, I took a public beating. Honestly, I just am over it. I don't want to fight with Denise. Now, y'all know I love Denise Richards, but I have to admit that I was really upset when she was at Kyle's dinner and she was unable to articulate herself and what she was upset about. I wish that she had been clear and had been sober, because now things are still bad between her and Erika. And had she just been able to say, look, Erika, I'm upset, I'm still angry at that conversation that we had some years back in front of my children about the threesomes, and I want an apology, they'd be done with this. But the fact that Denise completely bombed, she was so drunk that she wasn't making any sense, it just made things worse. So now Garcelle brings up Crystal's upcoming Taco Tuesday event, and she's like, well, Denise is going to be there, so how are you going to act? Now, like I told you guys a few minutes ago, they're good and drunk. So Erika starts shading, and she's like, did you guys know that Denise Richards on OnlyFans is only $7? So they're like, wait, what? Only $7 for the Denise Richards? And Denise, that really blew me, because I said, girl, you're too famous for that. You were that girl for a long time. Why are you only charging $7? You need to be charging 7 times 3 at the very least. I said, yeah, girl, raise those prices. Even Garcelle was shook. She was like, $7? Not even $10? And I said, again, Denise, don't lowball yourself like that. You deserve more. You're worth more, girl. You're worth more than $7. But Erika, not too much, because the tickets for your Vegas residency were also going for $7. So again, girl, not too much on Denise Richards. Because say what you want, Denise Richards once upon a time was an A-list celebrity. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you've only ever been C-list. So again, girl, not too much on Denise Richards. So dinner's over and you have Sutton running her mouth. She says that she's happy that the driver that she likes is going to take her home. So now Garcelle blurts out, "You mean the driver that you made out with the other night?" Erika was like, "Girl, wait, what? You made out with your driver? Like you? Miss Goody Two-Shoes, Miss having a breakdown at Magic Mike, was out here tonguing down her driver? Like, really?" And I was just as surprised as Erika, because I don't peg Sutton as somebody who wants to make out with people. Listen, the way Sutton acts, all that, oh my gosh, my morals. But that was definitely the epitome of a good girls' night, having some drinks, having a good time, gossiping, talking about girl stuff. Like, I loved it. So now we jump over to see everybody getting glammed up, because it's the night of Crystal's Taco Tuesday. We see Sutton getting ready, and as her glam squad is doing her makeup and hair, she's on OnlyFans searching for Denise Richards. And her makeup team was like, "Girl, are you on OnlyFans right now?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to find Denise Richards. I want to support her." And I said, "That's sweet." Somebody on Twitter said, "Women supporting women, we love to see it." And yes, we do. So now we jump over to Kyle and Dorit on their way to Crystal's. And as they're in the car, they're talking about the state of their friendship. So Dorit's asking Kyle, why didn't she tell her about the movies and shows that she's working on? And Kyle is saying, "Well, I've been so busy, I haven't told anybody. Like, don't take it personal." So Dorit is obviously hurt, and she's like, "Well, maybe I need to tattoo your initial on my body for you to take me seriously." Kyle's laughing, pretty much dismissing Dorit's feelings. And now Dorit says that she's genuinely hurt by Kyle. They used to be best friends. They would go on vacation together once or twice a year. Now all of a sudden Kyle is going on vacations with other people and she's not even getting invited. May I just say this? If you've been watching me for quite some time, I've told you guys bits and pieces of what's been going on, especially this year when it comes to friends, okay? But since I was little, I have always just known instinctively that friendships change and to not put so much stock into friendship. And I know that sounds so bad, but the way people will change on you like that, I just feel like, and I'm not trying to get so deep with this about Dorit and Kyle, but just bear with me. I just feel like it's always good to keep in the back of your mind that just because you're friends with somebody does not mean that they're friends with you. And Dorit being so hurt by Kyle shutting her out, Dorit needs to pivot and find some new friends. And Kyle, the audacity of you to say that the reason why you've been shutting Dorit out because you're still upset with her because she didn't have your back when you fell out with Kathy at the reunion. At that reunion, when Dorit tried to jump in and she tried to mediate between you guys, you snapped at her and said, "This is a family issue. Stay out of it. I don't want to hear what you have to say. This is between me and my sister." And Dorit said, "Got it. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to be right here." You snapped at her and told her to mind her business. So now you're upset because you feel like she didn't have your back enough? Make up your mind. And also, Kyle, just because somebody's saying something that you don't want to hear doesn't always mean that they're against you. Stop involving everybody and their mother to be so involved in your family mess. Then when folks have an opinion and want to give advice, now you want to get upset and snap at them? Like, girl, I was just so over that. I just get so tired of Kyle because Kyle is a professional victim. But Dorit, there's no way that I would have given Kyle that satisfaction by begging her for her friendship when you went on to say, well, you and Morgan are becoming fast friends and it's like you're morphing into one another. And then when you said, oh, but where do I fit in this equation because I feel like I'm being replaced? Baby, there's no way I would ever gas up Kyle's head like that to have her feel like she's doing me a favor by being my friend. That wouldn't have happened. If you're over me, that's fine. But I'm going to go where I'm celebrated. I'm not going to go anywhere where I'm just tolerated. That's not happening. So we see Crystal. She's getting ready for Taco Tuesday. And Crystal, that spread looked amazing. She had steak, duck, fish, and there is nothing like some good fish or steak tacos. Stop playing with me. And Potomac, this is how you do a spread, because that spread that Karen had at pickleball, no ma'am. Now, I know they were saying that Crystal had lost 14 friends last season, but it seems like Mama went and got some new friends because she had a lot of friends walking through the door. I said, okay, so Crystal isn't friendless. But when I tell you, bravo, I need you guys to sign Nia. Nia came through with that melanin and those box braids. I said, yes, ma'am. You know that we love braids over here. And came in with that yellow Goyard bag. I said, oh, who is she? I said, who is she? I need information right now. We find out that Nia is married to the comedian Bill Burr. I said, I know that's right. Let's swap Annemarie out and bring Nia on. So we see Nia chopping it up with Dorit and Kyle. She brings up their Vegas trip. She was like, oh yeah, I was stalking Crystal's pictures on Instagram when you guys went to Vegas. Did you guys have fun at Magic Mike? So now you have Dorit being messy, and she brings up that one of their girlfriends, i.e. Sutton, had a breakdown at Magic Mike. And Dorit, that was extra messy of you to try and get Nia in all the mess. Because you said, oh, you should ask about it later on. And Nia was like, girl, I don't want any drama. I'm not asking anything. So we see Erika come through. Now we see Denise. And Denise tells Dorit that after that night at Kyle's, she had a fever. And Dorit's like, really, girl, you had a fever? And I wouldn't be surprised if that were true. Denise came in with that fur jacket upside down. Now, when Sutton arrived, they were all confused at her outfit. Sutton is wearing this sundress. They were like, girl, what? It's cold. That dress is in the wrong season. And Kyle had me screaming. She was like, you look like Little Bo Peep. So they're all eating, everybody's talking amongst each other, and we see Sutton, Dorit, and Erika talking, and Sutton is joking around about how Dorit was trying to steal her assistant away from her at her party the other night. So now you have Dorit joking around, and she's like, Sutton, can you please not accuse me of doing things that I didn't do? And a quick side note about that. Y'all know good and damn well that Avi is not going anywhere. I'm sure he's getting paid handsomely by Sutton. And we know that Dorit and PK's money has always been funny. So I highly doubt that they would be able to match whatever Sutton is paying Avi. So you already know that Avi is not going anywhere, and he damn sure is not going to leave Sutton to go to Dorit. And it was funny when they played the clip, because you saw Avi look in the camera. He was looking like, girl, please. For me to leave a secure check and benefits to go to you, and the checks will be bouncing. So now Sutton says, well, stop accusing me of having a drinking problem and putting vodka in my coffee. So once again, Dorit's trying to play dumb. She's like, I didn't say that. And it's like, Dorit, we caught you in 4 cases. You were saying that you believe Sutton probably puts some vodka in her coffee each morning. Like, just stop. You said it. Own up to it and apologize. So now Erika interjects and she's like, well, by the way, Sutton, Garcelle, and I, we all went out the other night. It was a cute girls' night, and we had the best time. So I guess Dorit was feeling a way about it. She's like, oh, you guys had a girls' night and didn't invite me? So now Dorit turns to Garcelle and she's like, why am I just now hearing about this girls' night that you guys had that I wasn't invited to? Now, Erika, this was messy of you to reveal what Garcelle told you about Sutton making out with her driver, because when you said that, Dorit was like, wait, what? Like, you made out with your driver? So Sutton's like, yeah, it was a cute makeout. It was just fun. He's handsome and attractive, and it was just really sweet. My thing is, if we're having a girls' night and we're all sharing stuff, that stays at that girls' night. So, Erika, why did you feel the need to say something? And then to Dorit of all people. So now at this point, everybody's in Crystal's living room and they're all talking. We see Dorit turn to Garcelle and she says that she's still upset with Crystal because she feels like Crystal is stirring the pot. And she also feels like Crystal wants Dorit and Sutton to go at it. Again, Dorit, it's not that Crystal wants to start stuff. It's the fact that you actually did say that comment about you think that Sutton might have a drinking problem and that she spikes her coffee with vodka. Stop trying to pin this on Crystal. So now Sutton starts talking about her new horse, how she got her horse a new apartment. So Nia jumps in and she says, you mean a barn? And Sutton was like, well, I call it an apartment. Nobody was trying to hear Sutton go on about her horse. Nia's like, so what happened in Vegas at Magic Mike? So Sutton says, look, I don't like seeing my friends with their legs spread and the men in between their crotches. I don't understand why I have to explain that. Some people don't like mustard, but am I making a big deal about it? So now Sutton gets sarcastic and she says, I'm aware that I ruined the entire night. I wasn't in a good headspace, but thank you so much for asking about what happened. So now Garcelle jumps in and she's like, girl, how did you know about what happened at Magic Mike? And Nia says, well, before you guys got here, I was talking to the ladies, Kyle and Dorit. They were telling me about it, and they were low-key urging me to say something and ask about what happened. So now Sutton goes on to say that she wasn't feeling the whole Magic Mike experience, and Dorit calls BS on it. She says, look, Sutton, you had a stack of dollar bills in your hand. You were ready. And again, Sutton was very much ready. She was excited. She even said that that's why she wore pants, because she wanted them to dance on her and she wanted to go up on that stage. And Dorit, here's why I take issue with you, because you love to throw rocks and then go and hide your hands. Because what you did next was so shady and so petty. And let's call a spade, sis. You don't see it for Sutton, and you also enjoy embarrassing her as well. Because what was the reason for you to blurt out, well, I mean, Sutton, you're out here making out with your driver. And I loved how Garcelle checked you. She was like, Dorit, that's not cool. That was between me, Erika, and Sutton. And now for you to bring it up, you clearly want to embarrass her. So now you have Dorit saying, well, 20 minutes ago, Erika brought it up and you didn't get mad at her. And I said, but Dorit, there was a difference. Erika brought it up. She said it to you. She did not say it to the group. You heard some classified information and then decided to blurt it out in front of everybody. That's the difference. Yes, Erika was shady and she was being messy for saying anything to Dorit about it. But Dorit, you took it a step further. So Sutton is clearly embarrassed. She's like, that's not fair. My driver is a friend. It was sweet. It was innocent and cute. And I said, Sutton, you're a grown woman. You're in your 50s. Why are you explaining yourself to these women? Nobody's judging you, especially not about a makeout. Like, girl, everybody has a story or two or three, and that's actually real light work. So again, I don't even know why you feel a need to explain yourself or even feel embarrassed. You didn't do anything wrong. You want to make out with your driver and you did. It was fun, and now you have a story to tell. And that's what it is. If I were you, I would have said, do you feel better now? You feel better that you revealed that to everybody? Because obviously you were trying to have a gotcha moment, but it didn't work because I'm grown, I can do what I want, and I'll do it again. That's the attitude I would have had with Dorit. I wouldn't even have let her get under my skin like that. I would have clocked it, and then I would have moved on and paid her dust the remainder of the night. So at this point, Dorit and Sutton are going back and forth, And Sutton keeps asking Dorit, why would she say that? Now, Dorit was so irritated. She said, girl, if you don't shut up, can you let me speak? You keep repeating yourself, saying the same thing. I can't even explain myself. Now, Sutton, I love you and all, but you can only have one name a moment per season. Let Dorit speak and just be quiet. And it was so funny because Kyle and Erika and Crystal were still in the kitchen. And even Kyle was like, it's like deja vu. She did the same thing to me a few weeks ago. Now she's doing it again, repeating herself like that. So Dorit starts defending herself and she says, it was done in jest. I was being playful. That's all it was. So now Garcelle clocks her and she's like, but it didn't feel playful. It felt like you wanted to purposely embarrass Sutton in front of Crystal's new friends. So now Dorit says, Garcelle, can't you just give people the benefit of the doubt? And Garcelle wants to know, well, who are these people that you're referring to? So Dorit says, me, give me the benefit of the doubt. So now you have Dorit saying that it just feels like Garcelle wants to fight her. And if Garcelle doesn't like her, then just be real with it and stop pretending like she actually does. Dorit, why don't you stop pretending? It's clear that you're the one with the issue. So Dorit, here's where you effed around and found out. She goes on to say, Garcelle, it just feels like you attacked me. So Garcelle's like, excuse me, I attacked you?
Because you just attacked me.
I did not attack you. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. I did not attack you.
Like that was a attack.
This girl.
The feelings that were going through my head watching that, I was livid. And Garcelle is exasperated because once again, Dorit continues to show her ass. Sutton was screaming at you at the top of her lungs just 2 minutes ago. And not once did you say that she attacked you. But a black woman checks you in the calmest manner possible. Garcelle did not raise her voice to you one time. And you fix your mouth to say that she attacked you? This is that BS that a lot of black women go through. Everybody else is allowed to express their emotions, express their anger, but anytime that a black woman says one little thing, it's the end of the world. Oh, why are you so angry? Why are you so this? Why are you so that? You attacked me. I felt attacked. I felt threatened. I felt bullied. Garcelle packed you up so nicely. I was, oh, baby, I would have said worse to you because how dare you? You have been cursed out in this group. You have been yelled at. And not once have you ever told your fellow white woman that you were attacked. But you want to tell a black woman who's talked to you in the nicest tones that she attacked you? Dorit, it's a wrap for me. I've been trying to give you a chance. But yet again, you show that you are ignorant and you are unwilling to learn. You need help. So Garcelle says, let me make it clear to you. I did not attack you. We were having a conversation. So Dorit says, well, all I'm saying is that it felt like you were suggesting that I was trying to hurt her and I wasn't. So Garcelle says, girl, I wasn't suggesting anything. I actually said that. I said, Garcelle, get her again for me, please.
I'm gonna just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
So Dorit's still playing dumb. She's still trying to act like she has no idea why Garcelle is pissed with her. And she's like, well, what's a good word then? So Garcelle says, you know what, girl, I can't. You and your privilege, I'm just so over it. You have Dorit clutching her pearls. And she's like, wait, what? Like my privilege? What are you talking about? You know it's a bad day when Erika has to school you on white privilege. I said, damn. I said the fact that I have to give Erika her props. I never thought I would see the day. So Erika says, Dorit, we all know that words are taken differently when a white woman says it versus a black woman. Like, let's not play dense here. Dorit was still sitting there looking dumb, looking at the ceiling. I said, Dorit, it's time for you to go home. Pack it on up, sis. you look like an idiot and you sound like one too. So Dorit has realized that not only did she put her foot in her mouth big time, so now she's trying to backpedal and she's like, Garcelle, I apologize. Can we just have a conversation? And Garcelle says, no, we can't. Like, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you. Go and educate yourself. Like, I'm not sitting up here educating you on anything. Figure it out yourself. Listen, Black women are not here to educate you. Everybody needs to pick up the slack and educate themselves. We're tired. If I'm being very honest with you guys, I've never been the type of Black woman to have my cape on and sitting up here like I'm Superwoman. I've always been a Black woman who's very much about ease and the soft life. Before the soft life was even a trend. And you think you're so funny trying to throw shade in your Instagram caption, talking about happily living in my bubble. Girl, let's see if you keep that same energy at this reunion and at BravoCon next year. Dorit, you trying to play dumb, talking about, oh, I'm just so confused right now. What did I do wrong? If I triggered her, all she had to say was, oh my gosh, Dorit, you triggered me, and I would have apologized immediately. Baby, nobody wants to hear that. And no, you wouldn't, because we saw how you took forever to apologize to Garcelle a few episodes ago. So baby, just stop. Now, Crystal comes back in and she's like, does anybody want to fill me in on what just happened? And Denise says, yeah, they were fighting because Dorit opened her mouth and spilled Sutton's business about how she made out with her driver. And now you have Dorit admitting that her joke didn't land, and that's why the room is so quiet now. So to make matters worse, Dorit confronts Crystal. And she's like, what exactly did you tell Sutton? Because Sutton is telling me that you said that I was saying that she puts vodka in her coffee, and that's not what I said. So Crystal gets flustered, and she says that she doesn't remember exactly what Dorit and Kyle were saying about Sutton. And I said, Crystal, I just hate the way you fold so easily in an argument, because you didn't hear them wrong. Kyle and Dorit both were saying stuff about Sutton having a drinking problem, and you relayed the information correctly. So now Denise turns over to Dorit, and she's like, honestly, you saying that came off as judgmental. So since Dorit's in her feelings, she says, well, Denise, have you addressed your beef with Erika tonight? Have you guys talked? So Denise and Erika are both annoyed. They're not trying to address anything. And Erika's even like, come on, girl. I'm just trying to have a good night and be at peace. I don't want any drama. And Dorit is the definition of not knowing how to leave well enough alone, because she kept pressing Denise to address Erika. Denise snapped at her. She was like, Dorit, just be quiet, leave it alone. You just keep going, take it down a notch. You're doing too much. And the way Dorit decided to end the night early, she said, you know what? I'm going to go back home and see my husband because this ain't it. I said, baby, the way Dorit got it from every single angle. You had Garcelle and Sutton on one end. Now you have Denise cursing her out, telling her to shut up and mind her business. So she said, you know what? I'll see y'all later. I have never seen anybody look so defeated while leaving a party. She didn't want to hug anybody. Erika was like, well, girl, give me a hug at least. And she was like, you know what? I'm good. And that's what you get, Dorit. I'm glad you got ate up by everybody. Because again, sis, you tried it. But now we close out the episode with the showdown between Erika and Denise Richards. So Denise says, Erika, I wanted to have this conversation. And Erika says, well, I don't. And Denise, if you knew like we all knew, you would have left this alone. Because Miss Mama's girl, the way Erika tore you up, if I were you, I would have just sat there and ate my food. So Erika says, look, Denise, I'm not trying to fight with you, but let's call a spade a spade. You came to Kyle's party, cursing me out, trying to confront me. You called me a bitch, and I sincerely apologize to you. Then she goes on to ask, what exactly are you upset about? So Denise says that she's still angry about when they all had that dinner and the kids were there at the next table and they were talking about threesomes and sex, And Erika made that comment saying, I mean, come on, they're teenagers. If they have a phone, they can go and Google anything, and kids talk, kids know all about threesomes and sex. And then Erika took it a bit further by joking around saying, if they haven't had one themselves. And Denise was upset about that. Now, obviously, Erika was joking about that last part, but Denise was not here for it. She was just pissed, and she still held on to that anger. So Erika says, Denise, that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. All I was saying is that any teenager with an iPhone can search the World Wide Web. They know all about sex and threesomes. The kids are very advanced. So Denise is not trying to hear it. She's like, but still, those are my kids. And if I'm being honest with you, if I were Erika, I would have ended the conversation. I would have just said, you know what, Denise? You're still upset about it. I apologize. It wasn't my intention to offend you and say anything bad about your daughters. Again, I'm sorry. But it was clear that Erika still wanted to fight because she was ready. Now, when Denise went on to say, but those are my kids that you're talking about, and child, Erika comes through and says, but isn't your oldest daughter on OnlyFans? And Denise Richards' oldest daughter, Sammy, is indeed on OnlyFans. At this point, everybody's speechless. Denise is seething. She's like, what a low blow. Are you serious to bring up my daughter? So Erika says, look, I think it's great. It's no judgment on my part. But honestly, sis, you came in here slurring your words, talking to me crazy. You honestly think that I'm not going to go as low as I can go? Have you met me? So Denise goes on to say that Erika is a mean woman, and Erika says, girl, you asked for it. We close out the episode with Erika delivering the read of the night. She says, again, it's no judgment. I think it's great. And by the way, who's more profitable on OnlyFans, you or your daughter? Everybody's jaw is on the floor, speechless. Denise, you should have left this alone because you were ill prepared to go up against Erika. Like I said in the beginning, you brought a knife to a gunfight because mama, she took you out with that alone. Now, Erika, that is definitely an iconic scene, and that was an iconic read, but I have to get you together quickly because as an OG Beverly Hills watcher, I will never forget how you went off on Eileen Davidson when Eileen asked about your son. And mind you, your son is a grown-ass man. And he was 27 at that time. He's probably like close to 40 now. But he was 27 at the time, and you barely mention him. We've never seen him. He's out of the spotlight completely. All we know is that he's a cop. Eileen asked one question about your son, and you went off. You called Eileen everything but a child of God over a grown man, talking about my kid is off limits, don't you ever bring up my son. So you went off about a grown-ass 27-year-old man who's not even on TV, we've never seen him, don't even know his name, but yet you want to sit up here and bring up Denise's daughter. And mind you, you weren't shading her daughter, you were shading Denise. But my whole thing is just keep that same energy. Because if Denise should clap back and bring up your son and say, well, where's your son? You better not be there trying to fight somebody because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't say that your grown-ass child is off limits, but then bring up Denise's daughter. But y'all, Beverly Hills is that girl. She is giving what the other girls were supposed to have gave in the words of the iconic Rolling Ray. But guys, that was my double recap. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching, and you already know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye.